guys, welcome back to another video. This one's probably going to be a little bit quicker. I was getting a lot of questions about why UMich Dental, especially with so many of you having online interviews this year. It is a little bit harder to get a feel for the various dental schools, so I wanted to put this answer in one concise video. I've talked about it a little bit here and there in Q&As on my Instagram as well as here on YouTube. And if you don't know me, my name is Haley. I'm a D1 at the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, and I make tons of dental school vlogs. So if you're looking to get more of a feel for what life is like, at least from my perspective at dental school, you can check those out. But I wanted to talk about why I personally chose UMich Dental, and then also I did ask some of my classmates for their perspectives just to maybe make this video a little bit more useful than just one person's opinion, more like a handful of people. But with all that being said, I did just want to say this is still obviously mostly my opinion and some of my classmates. It doesn't speak as like a hard truth about the school. Anyone you talk to at any dental school, including mine, is going to have a different opinion, and I really do encourage you to do lots of research about all the schools you're considering. Talk to as many dental students as you can and try to form your own opinion. Use other resources beyond this video, but I hope that it is still helpful for you. So being fully transparent, my number one thing when picking my dental schools really was cost. As long as I still liked the school, if I absolutely hated it and it was my cheapest option, I would choose to go elsewhere if I had the opportunity. But I happen to really like University of Michigan, and I am a Michigan resident, so it was the cheapest option for me. We only have one public in-state school and then one private in-state school. One thing that I think is really cool about Michigan, I know a ton of my friends from my undergrad as well as some out-of-state students in my class got scholarships from the university. So they do offer those right upon admission if you do qualify and have been selected. So I think many dental schools offer scholarships, but it seems to me that Michigan does a really good job of divvying those out and kind of lessening the hardships of tuition on students. Last thing on cost, speaking for out-of-state students, people that I know in my class and classes above us that are out of state do consider Michigan to be one of the more affordable out-of-state options because it is still public. It's still cheaper than a lot of private schools, and like I said, they do offer scholarships as well. The next thing is the location as well as the facilities. So Ann Arbor is where University of Michigan is located. Huge college town. U of M is a Big Ten school, renowned research institution, beautiful campus. They get a lot of funding, so there's so many pretty buildings on campus, lots of beautiful like trees and nature, but it is integrated right into the city of Ann Arbor. And Ann Arbor is definitely more of a town compared to where I went to undergrad, which is at Michigan State University. That was a legitimate just college town, some bars, some shopping, but Ann Arbor is full of, I like to call them like real people. So there's lots of students, lots of graduate students, but there's also lots of young professionals and families in the area, and I think that it creates a really nice dynamic of people utilizing all that Ann Arbor has to offer. There's so many great small businesses, so whether you're into exploring coffee shops, shopping for clothes, going to different restaurants, bars, nature, there's lots of really cool things to explore in Ann Arbor. And I've only been here for a couple months because I moved in August after our summer term, and I've already been so impressed. I try to go to the Arbor, which is the Nichols Arboretum here, as much as I can. It's absolutely beautiful. If you're ever in the area and checking out Ann Arbor, you have to check out the Arbor. I don't think you'd ever run out of new restaurants to try. There's so many. I just think it's a really great environment. It's super happy, very lively. Under normal circumstances, there's all kinds of festivals in the summer. They have the art fair, they have Pride, and they also do something called Summerfest, I believe, but they have live music on the weekends. They have movies displayed outside downtown, so lots of really cool activities. Just a very like lively environment to be in, and I think that's a great place to be. In my case, starting dental school in my 20s, I think it's a great place to like keep growing into adulthood, and meeting other people outside of dental school is super easy because like I said, there are so many other young professionals and grad students here since it is such a big university and also like a small thriving city. I know I kind of mentioned this in this last one, but the campus is so beautiful. The Law Quad is another great place to check out if you come here. The Diag is a great place to hang out. I like to put up my hammock there because the Wi-Fi still reaches because it's in the heart of campus. The dental school itself isn't the prettiest on the outside, but they are undergoing a $140 million renovation right now to the inside facilities. So they're upgrading pretty much everything that has to do with patient care. So they're upgrading all of the clinic spaces, anything that patients use, like the waiting rooms, all getting a renovation, and I'm really excited. And that was one of the big reasons I also chose to come here, is because those are planned to be be completed and able to be used at the very start of my D3 year. So ideally I would have them throughout D3 and D4 year, which is when we're actually seeing patients in the clinic. I will link below the video tour of what the expected renovation is going to look like if you're curious what the school is maybe going to look like once you would start here as a student. And with that renovation, they also did add in some more study spaces, upgraded study spaces with bigger windows and things, just to make the environment in the school a little bit better. And one of my out-of-state friends, Abby, this is her Instagram if you want to check it out, but she did mention that one of the reasons she liked coming here was that it's ranked as one of the best college towns in the country, and I definitely think it lives up to that reputation. Speaking of rankings, another reason that I, as well as a lot of my classmates, chose to come to University of Michigan is the reputation, the Michigan name. Getting a degree in any form, but specifically from the dental school from the University of Michigan, really does carry a lot of weight when you're going looking for jobs, talking to people. It's just a very reputable degree. And the reasoning for that is because we have been ranked the #1 dental school in the US for the past 5 years. And then we've also been ranked the #1 dental school in the world. The QS World Rankings, which is for the US dental schools, will be updated soon, I believe. So we'll see if we get a 6th consecutive year for #1 in the US. But either way, those are just rankings. I really do think that Michigan lives up to that reputation, whether it be through the academics, through the kind of individuals that they choose to admit into their class, through the faculty, the way people interact with each other, the professionalism, the respect, the support, the encouragement. I really think that the reputation, it's not just a number or a name. It really carries to be more than that, to like a great experience. I think at any dental school, there's always going to be certain qualms that you have or adversities that you have to overcome as an individual or as a class or as a whole school. Things happening in the world right now like COVID, there's just always going to be hurdles. But I think that Michigan does the best that they can and is so receptive to student feedback and really does try to adjust when we have ideas of ways that could maybe improve things. The last main topic that I put on here was opportunity. So for me, I'm not particularly interested in specializing or doing research, but Michigan is a world-renowned research institution, if you didn't know that. So we do have this program called the Pathways program, and even though I'm not interested in research, the Pathways program was really intriguing to me, and I will explain why. So the research aspect of the Pathways program is called Immersion, or you can choose to do extra courses based on areas of your interest called selectives. And this is something totally unique to the University of Michigan, and it really gives you so much autonomy with your schedule that you're just not going to be taking completely all 4 years the most generic classes that everyone else is taking at dental school. You take all those important classes, but they also have time in your schedule for you to either do your research project or to be taking these selective classes. So the Immersion Pathway, these research projects, it's an idea that you come up with, and then you find a faculty mentor at the dental school to help you throughout your 4 years to get this project up and running, get it finished, so you can present about it at the end of your 4 years. What I thought was really cool about this, and the reason I even actually considered doing immersion, even though I really just don't have any interest in research personally, is that they don't need to be lab work. If that's something you're interested in, you can definitely do it. But there's a lot of public health research going on. There's like a pre-dental mentorship program that's happening that's under immersion. There's a dental clinic, a free dental clinic that students are running out in Traverse City. That's part of an immersion project. So there's not just necessarily what you would first think of as research. There's a lot of innovative, creative, community-based research and projects happening as well. So I think it's just an incredible program, and I'm really excited to see what my classmates this year picked to do. We're in our Pathways course right now this semester, so we're learning about all the different things that students are doing, the different classes we can take, and then at the end of this, we're going to declare, I guess, which pathway we're doing, what classes we want to take, or students will be picking what research projects they want to do. For me, for the selectives, I'm really interested in the leadership class taught by our dean. There's also teaching classes, like about teaching and lecturing, whether that be lecturing or teaching in clinic, and there's also like an intro level to that, so even before you would decide what kind of teaching you want to do. There's orthodontics classes and oral surgery classes on top of what we already cover in our curriculum, and in those you get to go out to a local office and do some externship rotations there and get some hands-on experience. So those are really great if you're interested in specializing or just want more exposure than what you get built into the typical curriculum here. I believe we have nearly every specialty clinic, and a reason that that is great is if you're interested in specializing or just want more exposure to those procedures, you have the ability to go into those clinics and ask to shadow, possibly be able to assist even. That's just a really great opportunity to gain mentorship with that faculty there, with the residents there, to get a feel for what specialty you might want to do, and also to be building up your application for when you're going to be applying to your residency program. Another great opportunity at the University of Michigan that people people will probably tell you to look into when you're choosing schools is early clinic exposure, and I definitely think we have that covered here. We get into clinic our first year starting assisting, and then in third year is when you're going to start physically being the care provider, but you're in clinic first year, talking to patients, observing what other dental students are doing, seeing the dental student faculty interaction, so you're more comfortable with that by the time you're into your third year and being the head care provider. I just have a couple more tidbits I want to throw into this video, just some things that my classmates told me that I thought might be useful for you about how they made their decisions to come here. So a handful of my classmates did go to undergrad here, and they said that was a big reason that they chose to stick around, because they loved Ann Arbor, they loved the campus, they loved the dental school because they got to interact with it a lot, obviously as undergrads through their pre-dental club and everything. They had a familiarity with the campus and with the faculty, and I think that's a good testament to the school that they liked it from their early exposure and chose to stick around. A lot of people did say also make sure you don't judge the school based on your interview day experience only, because you might have an off-putting interview anywhere, and I definitely encourage you to talk to other students, maybe go back and visit the city, maybe go back and visit the dental school if you can, and take a lot of factors into consideration, not just your interview day, because you're going to be there for 4 years, not a couple hours, so there's a lot more that can go into your decision process and factors that you can weigh in. One of my classmates that is an international student that may be applicable to some of you, he also went here for undergrad, but he's originally from Taiwan. He said that he was torn between 3 schools, but the reason he chose Michigan was because of his pre-existing connections with students and faculty at the dental school during undergrad, that it would be easier to build up his network here rather than starting from scratch somewhere else. And he does have a dental Instagram. It's at dentistry _ Drew, which I'll put right here. A couple other things that my classmates said were decision factors for them. One of them moved from Detroit to Ann Arbor, and they said that they really liked the lifestyle differences here, and I think some of those things could be, at least what I've noticed, is people are really just immersed in what Ann Arbor has to offer, all the small businesses here, getting out into nature as much as they can. So many people are walking, biking, there's lots of dogs around. It's just like a really happy environment, and I think people, they just spend a lot of time out of their apartments or out of their houses just engaging with the community, and I think that's a real testament to what Ann Arbor is all about. And another thing that classmates pointed out was the strong diversity, equity, and inclusion office. That division, committee, those individuals working on our faculty there, as well as the students involved with it, are really, really passionate, and they do lots of seminars and events for us to learn, as well as engage and create a really inclusive and supportive community. And I think that's something very, very important in dental schools that more dental schools need to be focusing on and integrating into their students' overall education. Okay, and then we're going to end off with a couple factors that were unique to me more so than like general factors I considered everywhere. So as an undergrad, Michigan was my top choice, but the reasons for that was, one, I was from close enough to Ann Arbor, it's not too far from home, about 40 minutes from my parents' house. My sister went here for undergrad, so I was vaguely familiar with the campus. I didn't visit her all too much because I was a bit younger than her, but just some familiarity with the area and knowing that I really liked it. I had a lot of engagement with the university's dental school through undergrad as well. At Michigan State, our pre-dental club had a lot of opportunities for us to come here during ASDA pre-dental days. I got to do some student shadowing. I went to almost all the open houses every year, so I just felt very comfortable and familiar with the dental school, and I knew that the students were so happy. They really, really liked it here. The faculty was just so supportive, and they're all very like distinguished, such intelligent people in their area of expertise, and it's just really exciting to have them teaching you the content. And again, cost really was a huge factor for me since I did like the school. I was obviously then going to pick it as it was the cheapest option for me. I also knew a lot of students coming here from undergrad that are years older than me that went to Michigan State, or just like family friends and things, so again, it just made it a lot more comfortable. I thought the class size was really good, of 108. Not too big, not too small. Some schools I went to were closer to 200. Some dental schools are as small as 30, so I thought this was the perfect number, kind of similar to like a high school class size, or smaller for some of you depending where you went to school. So it's really easy to get to know everyone, form a lot of connections, really feel like a family by the time that you graduate in 4 years. And overall, the students just all seemed so happy and involved in all the different clubs, all the different communities in the area, and they just seemed like they loved it here, and I thought I would love it here too, and so far I really do. Obviously, this whole video is speaking from my experience as an incoming D1 this year with COVID, with a non-traditional dental school experience, so it's really all that I can speak to, and then also during my application factors I was considering. But I do hope this video was still very helpful, and if you do have any questions about Michigan, feel free to comment them below or to message me on Instagram. I do also know a lot of other dental students at other schools, and I do encourage you to talk to people at other schools if you're looking into their particular institution. And if you have a specific school that you have questions about, I might know a dental student there, so also feel free to send me a message if you have questions about a specific school, and I might be able to connect you with someone that can help you. So I hope this video was helpful. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up to see other videos of mine pop up in your subscription box with my weekly vlogs and other videos. I do upload every Wednesday and then sometimes on Fridays or Sundays if I'm able to get up an extra video with my busy dental student schedule. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.